It was my pleasure earlier to introduce two of our guests who are here this evening. And now I would like to turn the microphone over to Representative Andrew Brennan.
Thank you. Thank you very much. I'm glad I could be here this evening to talk a little bit about education funding and the state of the schools. I serve on the House Education Committee, and in fact we have a hearing this Wednesday evening in room 313 of the Ohio State House. They're typically on Wednesdays when we're in session, when we're in session. There are a lot of things happening. Obviously, the state budget has been probably the biggest issue that we've had to deal with, House Bill 153. And that particular funding bill, we obviously saw a major decrease in funding that came from the federal government. And we've had a major issue with the amount of money that's coming to local school districts here in Delaware County. And that's been this way for a number of years since the DeWalt decision, basically. Going forward, I'd like to see some things change with the way we're handling our funding formulas here in the state. The way it's basically currently set up, if you've got an excellent distinction school such as Olentangy, there's absolutely no correlation with the amount of funding that does come from the state in aid to basically reward those school systems that are performing better. In fact, because of the way our system is set up with the redistribution, you see a lot of the money that will end up coming from the Olentangy School District, go to the state, get redistributed to schools that are failing or on academic watch. And many of those school systems, such as a couple of them up in the Cleveland area, will receive, as opposed to Olentangy, about $450 per student in state aid. They'll receive upwards of $12,000 per student in state aid. And to me, we should be taking a look at putting caps on that and say, look, if you've got a school system that can run, such as Olentangy, remind you there's security issues and there are other issues that have to come into play there. But if you've got a school system such as Olentangy that, for instance, is receiving very little state aid and can educate a student for $9,500 a student, we shouldn't be taking state funds and turning around and giving $12,000 to a school that's basically on academic watch or is failing. We need to take a look at the school districts that are declining in enrollment. There are a lot throughout the state of Ohio. Olentangy is one of the ones that has been growing substantially. And I think we need to take a look and say, okay, for those school districts that are actually declining in enrollment significantly, and I think there's got to be a certain percentage where we take a look at it, that the funding needs to be reallocated back to the districts that are, such as Olentangy, growing substantially. And as was said earlier, it looks like it will continue to grow by a tune of 800 to 900 students in the coming years. There was a group of legislators that are basically in similar situation, suburban districts that have seen growth. And myself and several of them, when we were having the discussion on the budget in the House, contacted leadership and basically asked for some changes in funding to try to reward those school districts. Unfortunately, the amount that was put in the budget was only $17, I believe, per student. To me, that should be hundreds, if not thousands of dollars per student, as opposed to what we're doing. And I think we need to take a look at doing that. I think there's a lot of things that we're looking at that will be of innovation that are coming forward that will, I think, help. And I believe Olentangy is already trying to implement some of that through digital technology. What I would like to see is, and we're working on a potential bill for this, are innovation zones. So essentially, if you have a school district such as Olentangy that receives very little state aid, then we should undo the mandates that we're giving the school district, ask for federal waivers so we continue to receive federal funding, but additionally allow those school districts more opportunities to be flexible with their budget, allow them to be innovative in their way they handle their classrooms, and I'd like to see that come forward. I believe that some of these things may be coming into play next spring. My understanding is that the governor is looking at a spring budget bill which may include education funding. I have been pressing again to include things that I was suggesting that we do, such as rewarding the school systems that are doing better with more funding, and if necessary, do what they've done up in Michigan, which is go into the school systems even more so that are an academic watch or that are in basically failed systems, and go in and replace everybody in there, from the superintendent on down. And I'm talking basically management and maybe even the school boards, and go in there and actually clean house and try to improve those school systems instead of continuing to subsidize bad results or poor results. Obviously, one of the biggest issues with school funding has been the cost of labor. A good thing about Olentangy is that they have been working on the Race to the Top funding, and they have been implementing what looks like to be a good merit system, and we'd like to see how that goes in the next year or two as that gets implemented. But I'd be more than happy to answer any questions here in a little bit, and thank you for your time.
Thank you.